is final Super Bowl prop. Okay. This final Super Bowl predictions edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play Underdogs, pick them for a chance to win 100x. Promo code SGPN, UnderdogFantasy.com for a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head to Cut.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And don't forget to enter our Super Bowl 58 props contest. Pick 58 Super Bowl props for a chance to win $1,000. Enter today for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/SB58 or in the SGPN app. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Vegas is electric.
It is.
Everyone is hyped for the Super Bowl and my mustache.
Yes, your mustache getting a lot of looks, Ryan.
I've never felt sexy. This is what it must be like to be an attractive female.
Yeah.
I'm walking down the street. Ladies are staring at it. Men are staring at it. It seems like it's like this Doritos Luxor. It's
you can't turn away.
Can't not look.
Ryan, we were walking Media Row yesterday, and we ran into Warren Sharp, and there was a moment where Warren Sharp looked at your mustache, you looked at Warren Sharp. It was almost like Old West Saloon, where two guys, like, this town isn't big enough for both of us. This Media Row isn't big enough for two of these amazing mustaches.
It was one of those weird, like a lot of it is you're talking with one person, someone else comes over to say hi. So, yeah, Warren Sharp comes over. Everyone's doing the pleasantries. Ryan, Warren. And so I go, nice to meet you, Warren. I'm Ryan. He goes, Warren, what was your name again? And just locked in as if he wanted to.
He was laser focused.
I felt like we were about to have one of those Avatar moments where they, like, merge the tail.
Yes.
Like, my stash was going to merge with his. We were going to just start making out. But I will say, now nearing the end of the mustache bet.
Yeah.
It might be growing on me, Sean.
Really?
The wife hates it.
I had a feeling you might enjoy it.
It's getting me attention. Now I understand why like all the things that women do to peacock.
Yes.
I get it. This is the ultimate peacock, and it's so much stronger than a beard because it shows someone that you keep part of your body clean. It's like the whole adage. If she can't keep her house clean, then what else can't she keep clean? I'm sending a strong message that I can keep my house clean.
Yes,
with this mustache.
Ryan with the strong stash. Chat is lit. Hunter checking in, saying excited and sad at the same time for this show. Already can't wait for next year.
Why is he sad?
Well, because it's the end of football, Ryan. But it is the Super Bowl.
It's the end for some people.
Yeah.
See, Sean, I'm not going to let you have this TMZ take while we're here live in Vegas. Most people stop football for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
We don't stop football.
Yeah, we are.
You know what we're doing Tuesday live from this seat, 3:30 p.m., I think. We're talking Super Bowl 59.
Early
New
look
Orleans
at Super Bowl futures.
Odds. And then, the draft's here.
The draft
So
props.
how dare you, Sean?
No, I was reading Hunters.
You're a chat sympathist. That's what you are.
Oh, I do love the chat. Adrian Kennedy saying, welcome to Vegas again. Like Brunt Musburger says on your VSiN promos, I should have never let these guys on my network. Love you guys. Love you, Adrian. Love the chat.
It really is great.
It does feel like it's worth mentioning, like coming full circle. I mean, we've been coming out to Vegas for years. One, the fact that the NFL is so embraced gambling that now we have the NFL slot machines. We have a Super Bowl in Las Vegas. They have the NFL slot machines at Media Row. To my fellow media members, just a heads up, they don't have a cocktail service, and you're not allowed to smoke at the machine. It was very funny.
It was an awkward moment. Sean immediately pulled out a heater. Asked this person with
trying to wave down a cocktail waitress. They're like, no.
The guy who works for the company that makes the slot machine. He's saying, hey, I'll take a JMO Rocks.
Yes,
making it tall.
And they were like, no. This is just a demo account.
No.
I'm like, what? What do you mean?
No.
Wait, this isn't for real money? They're like, no, this is just to show off the machines. And and then like they were surprised at my knowledge of the NFL slot machine. The people,
you know what it reminded me of? My daughter went through a phase where she was really into those doll figurines and the pop-pops. And so she would go to a store and she'd go up to this adult and be like, I looked online and it said that you had 2 of these, 1 of these, and 3 of these. Is that accurate? That's what Sean did. He's like, so there's.
I go. Do you guys have a machine here? And they go, yeah.
Setting them up for failure.
They go, yeah, we do have one. And then I go, because I looked online and the Super Bowl. So there's different versions. I don't like the other versions. I only like the Super Bowl jackpot version, which is clearly hands down the best, Ryan. And we went over to Circa last night. Had some cocktails with Big Balls, hung out with Uncle Ruben, went to Barry's.
Well, he showed up and Ruben was at the machine.
Yeah, he was. He was going on.
By the way, he hit a double maxi. If you know, that's amazing.
And then Kramer, I was playing as the Chiefs, went on a nice run on the slot machine, 300, turned it into 450. Kramer, also a nice run as the 49ers. So
300 into 500. So yeah. It's early in the week. We have to accumulate.
We have to do some more testing.
I'd say maybe first quarter, Niners out to a little bit of a lead.
Yes. People are asking how crazy is Vegas right now. It's a little crazy. I mean, it's definitely crazier over by Mandalay Bay where there's the Media Row and all that kind of stuff. Like that feels like some heat's picking up over there.
I would say the biggest difference is everywhere we've been, you just see people that you don't like. It's crowded, but instead of just seeing like a cackle of bridesmaids from Kansas City, you see Frank Thomas and Joe Montana at the Steakhouse.
We ran into Frank Thomas and
I ran into Frank Thomas in the bathroom. So I almost had a situation where I had to be like, listen, Frank, I'm not on the Nugenics yet. That's all. That's how I'm explaining myself. But yeah, saw Joe Montana. He got some shouts in the Steakhouse. But just a lot of. It's just like whether you're a notable athlete or a not notable athlete, you're here. And so just bumping into a lot of people. I would even go, like we even had a fun story from the media center, not naming any names, but a notable, like someone who was on a Division I Power 5 roster at the quarterback position was telling us about some conversations that he had in the shadows about outcomes of games and such. And so that was pretty interesting.
This is a guy who used to play quarterback in the SEC, keep it super vague, but he said he had what he believed. Now, we're not any Italian discrimination, Ryan, but he was
racist as hell. He's like,
these Italian mafia guys come up to me and we're offering him, trucks, cash, and they said, don't worry. We got someone on every team in the SEC. So they were laying it out for him that hey, maybe these games are a little hashtag rigged, Ryan.
I mean, it did. He was very willing to give us that information.
Dying. He's like, oh, gambling. Yeah, I had some guys try and threaten me to throw games. Like, whoa, that's awesome.
What would you do if you got approached and it's like here's a new truck and $10,000 a month? Just need you to make sure these games end up like this.
Yes.
What do? You say yes or no?
I feel like you can.
General life advice: don't engage in a contract that you don't need to.
Yeah.
It may seem scary, but don't sign your name on the dotted line.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a situation where being a quarterback in the SEC is enough pressure enough. You don't need to add the mafia to that list. Ryan, we got an amazing show. Our final Super Bowl predictions. We're going to give out an underdog entry, a Degen's only parlay for the game. Of course, make sure you go back, listen to our Kansas City props, San Francisco props, the exotic props, of which we've given out so many already. Full 58 bets, right?
We're going to have 58 official podcast bets, and then there's going to be another probably dozen. I've seen a lot of other notable places call them prop ideas. Again, people not willing to make picks. Hey, we had a great conversation. Here are some prop ideas you can come out. Just make a pick. Prop ideas?
And
what are we doing here? What are we, Bob Ross? Like, ooh, I'm going to have a nice cloud idea up here. Maybe a little pine tree smattering.
Who has ideas? We have plays. And, reminder, if you're in the Patreon, you can just print out our entire list of bets we've given out, all 58 for the Super Bowl. And also the Patreon Pick'em contest this week, $100 NFL Super Bowl ticket for next year's Super Bowl. So we will be getting you that.
And, Sean, you just stomped right over it. It's not printing out the sheets that you already have access to. It's not analog. I'm not going to handwrite everyone for the patrons, but we did create a cheat sheet.
Very
beautiful cheat sheet. Shout out to producer Josh.
And shout out to Little Caesars, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. Love me some Little Caesars. They're running this. They have their own prop bet, essentially. If there's a pick six in the game, everyone who accepts the challenge on the Little Caesars app gets free slices and sticks. If you haven't had slices and sticks, super delicious. You get half a pizza on one side and then cheese sticks on the other side. These Little Caesars, these guys, super inventive in the pizza game. They partnered up with Derek Brooks of the Bucks, who had a pick six in Super Bowl 37. And, we are, again, that play led to a 44-yard touchdown. Oh, so sorry. I don't think did he actually have the pick six? I thought he did, right?
No, because the MVP of that Super Bowl was now I'm thinking about it. The defensive back. Who was the defensive back that won for the Bucs?
Brooks.
No, that's
no.
I'll pull it up.
Blanking on it. But again, get in on, the ultimate free roll. Just download the Little Caesars app and accept the challenge to win free slices and sticks if there is a pick six in the game, a.k.a. the big game. Ryan.
As we heard in our heads, Dexter Jackson.
Dexter Jackson.
Obscure. Someone had a nice long shot on that. Oh, what's up? Football's in the air.
Let's go. DraftKings looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58. DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Right now, over on DraftKings Sportsbook, let's see. What is of course, let's take a look at Justin Watson to score a touchdown, plus 650 over on DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SGP. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Let's
nailed it.
Clap it up.
Got the
nice
DraftKings disclaimer verbatim as they love it.
Yep. They're not happy with Lenny's version. Lenny Dykstra didn't get all the words in, unfortunately. He struggled with some of those. All right. What do you want to start with?
Well, Ryan.
Wait, did we finish from last night? Did we finish everything else we need to talk about
There are
last night?
some more Vegas stories I feel like we got to get to. Ryan, you got we went to Barry's. Delicious meal, although maybe you ate something earlier in Barry's. Seemed like you were dealing with food poisoning.
I can explain the situation. All right, so we've been doing the Vegas trip for a while.
Yes.
Very much had to have a routine. We stick to it most times. So we come out. I've eaten no food. We get to Vegas. No time to do anything, right? We get here, we go right to the media stuff, we're figuring stuff. Still haven't really eaten anything. We get those chicken wings at the media center.
Yes.
That's all I've eaten now. And then we decide we're going to head down to the Circa. So obviously, if we get to the circa, it means drinks. Because we're going to bump into someone like Big Balls who's going to, aggressively offer us drinks, which we appreciate.
Yes.
But we bumped into a lot of people at the circa. And again, not one to throw back a lot of the cocktails. I want to say, I was thinking back, I think it was 3 of the heavy Jameson rocks that had been consumed before the Steakhouse. And in that moment, I was like, oh, man. I'm feeling a little drunk. This might turn out poor. We go eat this delicious meal, and I'm sitting there like, fuck. All right, we should go home. Let's go back. So we end up going up, and Uncle Ruben is in the founder's suite over at the circus.
Yeah.
So we go check out this ridiculous suite. Everything's cool, but I'm like, all right, I got to get the fuck out of here. We end up leaving. We go down. We're waiting for the Uber, and I'm like, oh, my God, this is a long drive back to the Mandalay Bay. I don't feel good. So I casually made my way over to a discreet location, and I made myself feel better. I didn't make myself feel better, but after what happened, I felt better. Meanwhile, Sean, what does Sean do? And just laugh. I hear Sean giggling.
Oh, come on. You throwing up after we just dropped a nice chunk of I
had some nice comps from the slot machine.
The slot. How's the slot?
Ryan just immediately selling Buicks, as my dad used to say. Just go, oh!
I do have my voice projects, so you could imagine when I'm making that call to the dinosaurs.
Terrell wants to know, was this better than the Fantasy Expo throw-up? No, I would say no.
No, definitely not.
No,
that time we were drinking all day, we were eating all day. We had competed in a
Ryan throwing up outside or at the Fantasy Expo outside of Don Shula's
on Don Shula's
on Don Shula's lawn at the Hall of Fame. That was a historic level of vomiting. Like it was a Don Shula-esque. Like if you had a Don Shula vomiting, that's what Ryan got into at Shula's.
The Adam Pelletier, Donna Bill's Mafia. Like it was so bad that he didn't know. Like it was one of those moments where he didn't know to stay and see if I was okay or keep walking. And I'm like, Adam, get the fuck out of here. Like just go. So yeah, last night was a casual situation.
Yeah, wasn't as insane, but it was.
It was also
we're waiting for the Uber, and then Ryan just like wanders off. I'm like, Ryan, where are you going?
Well, and boy,
I'm all right.
Boy, did I make the right call because the car we got into had, the driver, very cool Uber driver.
Yeah,
but the car smelled like horrible perfume, and I the whole time I was like, I'm gonna puke again.
Yeah,
I made it. I got back to the room, passed out, had a good night's sleep.
Well, and then Ryan also not blowing up anyone's spot, but I end up going to sleep fairly early.
Yeah, and I'm an old guy, so I wake up early. I can't sleep. It's Vegas. You know how it is when you can't sleep. So I'm like, I don't have any water in the room. I refuse to pay for this ridiculous, expensive water. So I get up. I go downstairs. I walk over to the sports bar. Or a sports book. I get a couple bottles of water. I look at the lines. I come back, and I get in the elevator. It's just me, and these people walk in behind me. Very notable personality who talks about football, and what appears to be someone who is being paid by the hour, I think. This is roughly 6:15
She's in the
a.m.
oldest profession.
It's very, I'm saying 5, maybe a former athlete. But also definitely seemed to be engaged in some sort of, again, maybe a massage in the room, best case scenario, 6:15 a.m. This person, the notable person, is dressed as if they had come from Media Row doing some East Coast media stuff. Because Media Row lights up at like 3 a.m. when all the East Coast stuff happens. It's weird. It's actually the busier time. So I then go up to the room, get shit together. We're heading back over here, and I'm leaving. I got all my stuff. I get in the elevator. And I hear like someone's running. Same notable personality, now without the lady. Running as if he's now late to something in the media center. He's
ultimate multitasker.
Shocked, looks at me as if like, oh shit, you were the same guy that saw me go up to my room. Or maybe because we had interactions in the past. And then I see him. I go, you made it, with a smile on my face and this mustache. He then shamefully looks at his phone. Elevator opens, and no joke, like a little nerdy kid who pulls his pants all the way down at the urinal in the elementary school, he runs out of the elevator and like so fast where I get to the elevator bank and he's already gone. Imagine, like, it's all right, I got a 5:30 spot and I got a 7:30 spot, and I'm trying to fit a whore in between.
Yeah, I mean,
lot of
ultimate
scheduling.
multitasker. I said, Ryan, like when you saw him with the lady of the night, you should have been like, hey, huge fan, man. Can I get a photo?
Well, the best part is we have heard rumors of this person maybe having some tendencies that would creep people out.
Yes.
So, confirmation bias.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
I would also
only in
say I
Vegas.
don't know if I could see something this weekend that could top that, too.
Yes.
Anyway.
And Jeremiah, guy who runs the studio here, he's behind the glass. Don't worry, we will tell you the name after the show.
Yeah, this is too hot. This is too hot.
The guy might be married. I don't know.
Have you ever seen the movie Sniper with Mark Wahlberg? When he figures out, like, he uncovered the conspiracy, but the evidence he has isn't going to get anywhere because the power is too big, and he walking down, he puts the gasoline on, and he's too hot and lights it on fire.
Corporate gambling doesn't want this information out there, Ryan.
Yeah, we can't.
We may have to burn this episode.
All right.
Ryan, what game is coming up on Sunday?
Super Bowl. I've had a lot of questions about the Super Bowl, and if the choir.
Oh yeah! Super Bowl, yeah, yeah, yeah. Super Bowl, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the Super Bowl! We got chips, we got dips, we got wings, we got Kyle Juszczyk player props, Justin Watson, 2 touchdowns, giant tins of Skull, beer, knocking over your dip cup, 7-layer dip. It is the Super Bowl. Party subs? When do you have a party sub? You only have it one time of the year, and it's for Super Freaking Sunday. Oh my God, Gatorade color, betting on Gatorade color. You can bet on Reba McEntire's cleavage in the national anthem. If that isn't the United States of America at its finest, I don't know what is. Now we're gonna be able to see Andy Reid, Patty Mahomes, Showtime Mahomes. What more do you want, America? Brock Purdy sucks. Chiefs are gonna roll. It's the Super Bowl. Whew, my head is sore, Ryan.
Oh, that's like a Taylor Swift song.
Let's go.
Did you know 13 plus 87 is 100 because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce complete each other?
Oh, wow. I did not know that, Ryan.
Well done, Sean.
Thank you.
That felt a little bit more like a slap poetry version. Mixed with a little just rage.
Yeah.
You got the dip cup thing? Was that a freestyle?
Yes.
I don't remember that in previous renditions.
I let the things of celebration of the Super Bowl, the greatest day in America, I let it come to me, Ryan. And whatever the Super Bowl gods, the football gods want to hear, I'm in.
All right, we didn't talk about this before. I know we generally do a lot of pre-production.
Yes.
Top 5 things on Super Bowl Sunday.
Top 5 things.
Just off the top of your head.
Let's see.
5.
What do you got?
The food.
Oh, food. Okay.
4. I would say it's one day of the year that I'm going to interact with some people I haven't seen for a while because I don't generally keep in touch or try to hang out with anyone. So I'll say the people 4.
Okay.
3. I would say the general anticipation. It's like March Madness, I think, maybe has more pop total, like juice in terms of sweatiness, but the anticipation of all the bets. Because you realize at some point on Sunday morning, I'll sit down before the pregame show and I'll be like, just stop. You got enough. Just stop. No more needed. Just stop. 2, Super Bowl squares.
Okay.
And 1, my analog.
Oh, that was going to be my number 1.
You can share. That is.
All right. Yeah, I don't have any issues with your order.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I
would maybe put people 5, food 4, but yeah, other than that. And you got to make some room for some cold ones, Ryan.
I go out of my way to do food more than I go out of my way to do people.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. All right. What do we want to do next, Ryan? Do we give out? Yeah, let's toss out an Underdog Fantasy lineup. Of course, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Get a 100% deposit match. We're already firing on our best ball lineups.
I've also been, in general, if someone posted an entry that I thought was interesting over the past week, I just clicked the link and tail. I saw, and had we done this bit 5 minutes earlier, there was a woman with like a Pomeranian or some sort of pocket dog outside. It would have been great. All right, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Well, and actually, too, I did remember we gave producer Jeremiah a clip. If he's able to play that, and shout out, this is from the 1985 Super Bowl.
Wow.
Everyone loves sending these clips in. I'm going to try and track down the.
Shout out to our audience who seems to just watch old, like when there's not sports on that you care about, you just fire up YouTube and watch old games.
Yes, 6 minutes into the 1985 Super Bowl, they're talking.
Which of course is notable for gambling because that was the Refrigerator Perry prop.
Yes, that was the birth of props.
Which and while we're pulling up, we have another history lesson. Jay Cornegie created the first cross-sport prop when he compared the Niners score to Michael Jordan in the year that Niners put up 55. And just a dreadfully awful Super Bowl when the NFC was dominating the AFC.
So Parlay Popes is the guy who sent in this clip.
Get some whacking in.
All right, one more time. The announcer really does whacking.
Get some whacking in.
So that will
you
be,
can tell he went to school to talk with that diction. What do we use that for going forward?
Oh, just guys who are, get some whacking in.
Get some whacking in.
I feel like it's
multi-purpose.
Pairs well with Lenny, maybe.
Oh yeah, everything goes well with Lenny.
Slot. How's the slot?
Get some whacking in.
Oh, this is great. It's like one of those dueling piano bars.
Oh yes.
The slot. How's the slot?
Get some whacking in.
Oh man, I'm 42 years old.
Yeah.
How old am I? 41.
You're only 41, right? You're gonna be
41.
42.
Still funny. I used to remember as a kid thinking like, when do adults just stop laughing at these types of jokes?
The answer's never.
Never.
What do you got for your underdog fantasy
all
lineup?
right. I feel like I've been dancing around this in a lot of different ways, but we're going to start with Kyle Juszczyk, which, by the way, you want to impress your Super Bowl party. Let's spell it because I've done this so many times I don't need to look anymore. It's J-U-S. And then we got this weird section of letters, Z-C-Z-Y-K. Kyle Juszczyk, who, by the way, his wife's blowing up. So if you're one of those conspiracy types, it's up to 4.5 receiving yards over on Underdog. So much steam on the higher half and higher 3.5 yards. It's juicing up. I have heard a tremendous amount of people talking about Kyle Juszczyk this week, which they must all be subscribers to the pod because I'm going to take credit for Kyle Juszczyk, Sean. We started talking about this a long time ago. We're going to add to his receiving yards. Travis Kelce, higher, half touchdown. You know I love that anytime touchdown, Sean. We're then going to go Christian McCaffrey, higher fantasy points. If he's going to win the MVP, he's going to have a nice fantasy day. 21.45 points. That seems a touch low considering he does not rely on a ton of catches. And then the last one, going to the Brock Purdy. Rushing yards, 12.5. You know his number's 13? That's why it's important that the Chiefs take down this evil 13.
Replace it with Taylor's 13?
Yeah, well, who knew Taylor Swift was a big 13?
Yeah.
I also found out Taylor Swift just sold one of her private jets. I also found out that Taylor Swift had the highest carbon footprint this past year with all her private jet usage. Did you know this is the 13th Chief game that she'll be attending?
The truth is out there, Ryan.
4 + 9, 49ers, 13. Games on February 11th, 2 + 11, 13. Anyway,
all adding
those. So Brock Purdy higher, 12.5 rushing yards. McCaffrey, fantasy points higher, 21.45. Kelce higher, half TD. Juszczyk higher, 4.5 receiving yards. Once again, didn't find an under on the card. And shout out to Underdog for starting to put up less than 1x projections, like, for example, the McCaffrey half TD. We all know that's a massive minus proposition. Now they're offering those as well. That's fun. 100 gets you 1,000 here. Not buying insurance. Never bought insurance.
No.
Sean almost bought insurance last week at the blackjack table again. Maybe he'll buy insurance here on his Underdog entry. 100 to win 1,000.
I got 100 to win 1,350, Ryan.
Really?
You might
got
want
some spice in there.
You're going to probably copy this lineup. One, I'm also on Kelce touchdown, higher.
Big.
I mean, come on. Justin Watson, higher 16.5 receiving yards. He's my random guy I'm leaning into on this Super Bowl.
You love him.
I do. And again, the first to 20 receiving yards, the more I think about it, the more I love that at 35-1 for him. All it takes is one catch. Him to get over 16.5 receiving yards, I like that, obviously. And then Ryan, also a Kyle Juszczyk prop, higher, 1.5 receptions.
Whoa.
That's where the spice comes in.
What was that, like one? What's the spice?
2.25x, extra spicy.
I was sorry. I was just doing some calculations. That's a good price.
Oh, thank you. Ryan, you might notice I'm one of these guys we call sharps.
Well, I've like, again, unofficial pod. But we discussed it. But the Juszczyk, I have the receiving yards ladder. I also have the receptions ladder.
Let's get it.
That's a good price. I maybe I'll swap Watson out. I don't know. That felt a little cute, but everything else I love.
To clarify, I did not almost buy insurance, Ryan. You're giving the chat the wrong information.
You looked at me. Granted, this was off the record.
Yes.
And you said I almost bought insurance.
Yes, I was in jest, joking around.
Sorry, I forgot to laugh. So funny, I forgot to laugh.
Now you're stealing your kids' jokes, Ryan. We got our Degen
My kids aren't
Parlay
that funny.
official Super Bowl predictions, and then before we get to that, a shout out to Cut. Again, Cut is a great place to get down on some Super Bowl props. You can list almost anything, available in 40 states. It's head-to-head, which is awesome. And they're running this awesome contest. They're giving away $5,000 in site credits to whatever user refers the most new depositors by the end of Super Bowl weekend. All you have to do, invite your friends to sign up on Cut. That's Kutt. Via the invite the friend button on the dashboard. Have them deposit by Monday. The new user with the most deposit referrals will get $5,000 in site credit, and then obviously you get the 10% sign-up bonus with SGPN as your promo code. Also brought to you by Game Time. Oh, man. If you're thinking it's too late to get tickets to Super Bowl, you're wrong. You can get tickets to the big game. You can get tickets to any sort of game, show, concert, and you get that low price, the Game Time guarantee. If you can find tickets at a lower price, same section, same row, for less, Game Time will refund you 110% of the difference. Don't even try. Don't even waste your time. Game Time is going to get you the best price. Love Game Time. Very easy to set up. Went to see the Eagles and Rams using Game Time. It was a breeze. Getting the $20 off using the promo code SGPN. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create the account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And these Degen's only parlays, Ryan, courtesy of Hall of Fame Bets, the Parlay Optimizer. Head over to HOFBets.com or download the Hall of Fame Bets app. Use promo code SGPN and get 50% off your first month. Start betting smarter, not harder. All right, Kramer.
Well, real quick, couple bit of some things to clean up here. One, I just found us 2 front row tickets, section 128 for $21,000 each, all in.
But include the $20 off.
Oh, sorry.
21,000.
That's actually going to be $20,893 each.
All right.
That's a pretty good savings for front row. I mean, granted, you're almost paying suite level pricing there, but yeah, I don't know if you saw that the suite drama. Christian McCaffrey's mom, I guess, has a podcast.
Oh,
yeah, interesting. I don't know if I'd let my mom have a podcast, but Christian McCaffrey's mom has a podcast. She was complaining about how you couldn't get a suite. Well, the next thing you know, Christian McCaffrey's girlfriend swoops in, buys a suite. So
buys the suite, Ryan, or someone puts up the money for the old suite.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's sponsored by.
Yeah.
Other bit of accounting to get to. I am the cut master.
Yes.
I will not be disrespected. If you send me a price on a bet that's ridiculous, I'm not going to take it just to take it. Someone sent me a position where I would take Brock Purdy even money versus Patrick Mahomes rushing yards. His line is half as big. What do you think I am? Some sort of dolt? I'm declining live on the air. Decline. I mean, just bad pricing after bet. Give me a good price. I'll take your bet, please. You're embarrassing yourself. I'm not even going to say his name. All right. Now I'm ready. That's all.
Ready.
Sorry, I had to get that off my
So
chest.
fire out, we also talked, do we want to do a group underdog lineup, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, let's build something together.
All right. Let's fire up the underdog engine for the pick'em.
Do we want to – all right, so do we want to start fresh with something we haven't discussed yet, or do we want to start with something
Well, and also open it up to the chat. Chat, if you got some stuff you want us to toss in here for an underdog.
I got one for you. Elijah Mitchell, 3.5 rushing yards.
Under.
Under, really?
Yeah, I don't like Elijah Mitchell.
You don't think he's going to get a carry or two? Okay, this is bad. You're already on it.
I'm off Elijah Mitchell.
See, this is why we can't. I forgot. I don't know why we're trying to build. What do you want to do? Why don't you start, John? Start with a Chief.
Ryan gets so angry if I don't like one of his plays.
No, you'll any San Francisco 49er I bring up, you're not going to like.
What about
McCaffrey receiving yards?
Brandon Ayuk receiving yards under or lower?
Nah, that's I'm scared off of that one now.
Okay.
It's very
McCaffrey
shocking. Receiving yards.
higher?
Let's see. What they have
34.5.
They have first quarter stuff for McCaffrey. But yeah, let's go higher McCaffrey receiving yards.
Okay.
Or we go spicy and go McCaffrey receiving touchdown.
Nah, I don't want to mess with that.
Okay.
All right. McCaffrey higher, 34.5 receiving yards.
Yes.
What else is jumping out at you?
What would your Mahomes angle be?
I mean, I like I like his passing touchdowns.
2.5?
Well, that's the spicy play.
They don't have a non-spicy play.
That's interesting. They don't have any.
You want to fumble lost is really spicy.
No. Interceptions lower a half.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Okay.
What else? What would your Purdy take be? Other than interception.
Okay.
Actually, we can also do. Let's see.
I don't mind Purdy attempts or Purdy rushing attempts.
Oh yeah.
Purdy passing or rushing attempts is interesting.
You want yards or attempts? I did yards last time. Let's do attempts.
Higher 3 rushing attempts for Purdy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 6x right now. Do we want to put in something spicy?
Yeah. I would say we should. Thoughts on how spicy? Let's get really spicy. We can't get a little bit spicy. All right, here we go. Discovering we could play a MVS. We could go off the board like that. We could play. I mean, again, you're a lot of these things I like are Niners, so I'm trying. I'm waiting for your Chiefs angle. We could go. We already went with the quarterbacks. Oh, I see the Ayuk is a special too.
Noah Gray, higher 1.5 receptions. I'm not seeing a lot of. Did I click on something wrong? I'm not seeing any spicy stuff.
Oh, I'm seeing tons of. I mean, we could go back to the Kyle Juszczyk angle for spicy. We could go. We could play a sack. I don't love playing the sacks. Feels a little bit of a stretch. All right, let's do this, Sean. We both like Juszczyk. It's the Super Bowl of Juszczyk. You want to take his receptions? It's 1.75 spicy for over 1.5.
That was weird. I just gave it out at 2.25.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I didn't even actually play it because we're in the state of Nevada, and I'm just screenshotting these so I can play them when we get.
Oh, you're right. It's 2.25.
All right.
I misread
toss it in there.
All right. So that's 100. All right. So again, nailed it.
Read it off, right?
We even got a lower in there for everyone. Mahomes lower, half interception, 34.5 receiving yards, higher for McCaffrey. Brock Purdy 3 rushing attempts higher, and 1.5 receptions for Juszczyk. I can't wait for Juszczyk to have a game. 100 get you 2250.
Get some whacking in.
I'm going to be
perfect timing.
I'm going to be whacking if
Ryan's going to be getting some whacking in if
Juszczyk catches the first pass and then gets another reception. I'm going to be whacking hard. Whacking very hard.
You have to know when to come.
Well, thanks, Doris. Great advice. All right, same game parlay. Going big here. Perfect spot to use those DraftKings bonus bets. Here's what I'm doing, Ryan. Got it up to 75-1.
Nice work.
Justin Watson, anytime touchdown score.
Yes, sir.
Chiefs minus 7.5. Brock Purdy over a half interception. 49ers team total under 20.5. Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Kyle Juszczyk over a half catches.
What? And that pays
75 to 100 to win 7,500. Ryan.
So
what do you got for the folks?
In the time that we have started recording, the pricing has changed on one of mine. So
wow.
I lied to you earlier when I gave you the price. Sean goes, I got my same games at this price. Do I need to go bigger? And I said, well, absolutely, you need to go bigger. We're in Vegas. I'm looking beautiful. So I brought the 90 to 1 banger. And again, as I read this, I'm not sure how this gets to 91. But Brock Purdy, 12.5 rushing yards. I'm very invested in this now at this point. I didn't expect this, but I'm very invested. In
really?
Brock Purdy rushing. I just keep putting I keep adding elements where Brock Purdy has to run the ball for 4 times for 13
That's the only
yards.
one that I've heard a lot of people talk about that I'm kind of scared off of.
But it makes sense because
I
think if they're in the lead, they're still going to get a pass rush from the Chiefs. They'll be blitzing. And if they're playing from behind, then they're obviously going to get a pass rush, even if it's just the 4. All right, so Brock Purdy over 12.5 receiving or rushing yards. Kyle Juszczyk, alt receiving 25-plus yards. Niners -3, alt line. Kelce over 70.5 receiving yards. Again, since the last time these two teams played, Travis Kelce has been in 12 playoff games. In all 12 of those games, he has gone over 70.5 receiving yards. He's going to get 70.5 receiving yards, 50-plus alt receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey. So, again, we're going alt lines with Juszczyk, 25-plus receiving yards, alt line with McCaffrey, 50-plus receiving yards, Kelce over 70.5, Niners -3, Brock Purdy over 12.5 rushing yards. That pays 90 to 1, Sean.
Oh, man.
Feels very correlated. Very correlated.
Yep.
Thought about not putting the side in there, but I had to put this. You get some decent juice in the Niners. If you do like the Niners, putting their line from 2 to 3 gives you pretty significant juice in these builds. And so, even if you're not counter correlating, I have a little counter correlation, but I think it was mostly just that you're pushing up to 3.
Yeah, the other one I gave out earlier in the week, reminder, Chiefs -7.5, Pacheco 100 rushing yards, Richie James touchdown. That's also 90 to 1. That's only 3 things that need to happen, right?
Only 3 things.
Yeah, I mean, granted, one is Pacheco getting 100 yards, so that probably would have.
That doesn't feel, I mean, even as someone who's not anti-Chiefs, I don't know if that's the longest shot. Pacheco, it does seem like the running back, another chalky position. A lot of people have been saying this, but it does seem like both running backs are in a position to get theirs.
Yes.
That's how I would frame it up. So I don't hate that.
Kramer, time for our final score predictions for Super Bowl 58.
And do you have – yeah, we have prices on these too. Shout out to the world for allowing us to bet exact score.
Okay. I'm going to cue the dramatic music. In Super Bowl 58, the final score prediction. Kansas City Chiefs, 28. San Francisco 49ers, 17. Chiefs win, Chiefs cover, and the under hits. Travis Kelce, fun little MVP. Kramer?
Does that mean I'm not even going to question it.
Okay.
Was that a pick? Or are you just giving ideas?
Oh, sorry. Is this a lean or
was that not a Super Bowl idea? Yeah. Do you have any other score ideas?
I have other score ideas. That exact score is 500 to 1. So I'm going to find a sprinkle on that as well.
Well, and we did break down the Super Bowl squares, and we learned how unpopular and how hard it is to land on 8. So that's where your juice is coming from.
Kramer?
Yes. In this corner. Unfortunately, I'm on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm the heel. I got the stash. San Francisco 31. Kansas City 23. San Francisco covers. Play the alt numbers. Play the pleaser if you want. 7.5. Going over the total. 47, 47.5, 48. I think both teams are able to move the ball. I think the story of the defenses, it will be that these teams are both able to run the ball a little bit, both able to work the play action. I think Travis Kelce has a monster game. Chalk. I think Brock Purdy has a decent game. And I think McCaffrey takes it home. Maybe a 3-touchdown performance. Definitely a 2-touchdown performance. Kyle Juszczyk maybe 2. McCaffrey MVP is the mega whale play for me. Bigger than the side bet. McCaffrey plus 475 MVP.
All right.
My biggest bet in this order: McCaffrey MVP, Kelce anytime touchdown, and then Kelce yards. I have a lot of money on the Chiefs considering the outcome of the game. I think if this happens and maybe it's like 28-10. And they have to play some catch up. I think there's going to be a lot of Kelce. I think there's going to be a lot of Kelce early, a lot of Kelce late. That's why I love Kelce to have 25-plus yards in both halves. I already gave this one out. Plus 110.
All right. Let's get it. Hey, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. What an NFL season. Cannot wait for the actual Super Bowl. We got the Super Bowl pregame show. 1 hour before kick?
2:30 Pacific?
2:30 Pacific, 1 hour before kick. Answering all your questions, final news. Maybe someone gets arrested the night before. Whatever.
Maybe.
But yeah. I mean, we already have one guy attacked by a coyote who we claim is not Kadarius Toney.
Well, we didn't even talk about this. We actually got some intel from our Uber driver about how, I guess a couple, weeks or months ago, there was some sort of crazy old lady who went out to this part of town and just brought a cooler of T-bone steaks and was throwing the steaks at the Coyotes.
The Uber driver was like, man, those T-bone steaks are expensive. Give them to me. I don't give them to a coyote.
Makes me believe the coyote bite a little bit more.
Well, and then her theory was that these coyotes ate all these steaks and they got a taste for meat and are going and hunting around people now in Lake Las Vegas because they got all these free steaks.
Yeah, she mentioned that the NFL player was the 6th attack in the past couple of months.
That's crazy.
Werewolf, Sean.
Yeah.
I don't have a 13 connection to the coyote bite. Although we have received some intel that it does seem like it was Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. It just has to be Kadarius Toney. Hey, again, as always, get in on the Super Bowl props contest, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/SB58. Completely free. What
do you mean free?
Free of charge.
So what's the prize?
$1,000. Cold, hard cash. Sponsored by us. All you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment on a video. Very easy. And you're in. 58 Super Bowl props. Whoever has the highest score wins $1,000 cash. Winner take all. Toss us a nice rating review over on Apple Podcasts. Always appreciate that. We'll be giving out some gift cards to some amazing reviews. And we will see you tomorrow night. VSiN show. Got a lot of fun stuff planned for that. So make sure you tune into there. And then if not, we'll see you Sunday for Super Sunday.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Stacking the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Go Niners.
Kramer. Let it ride.